Hello everyone, welcome to Lighthouse Stamping with Lorraine. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Vancouver, Washington. Thank you for joining me today. Before we get started, the housekeeping notes, all the product I'm using and all the dimensions will be listed below. There's a link to my online store if you wish to purchase any of these products. There is a link to my Facebook group. We'd love to have you join that. There's my email address if you have any questions or want to find out about in-person classes. And finally, remember to like, share, and subscribe and help me grow in YouTube world. Today I've grabbed out two stamp sets, Delicate Pines and Snowflake Kisses. They could work together really well. So I don't have samples of what we're actually making, but I do have some that I did make out of some retired product. About 2 weeks ago, I was watching Janice. She has a YouTube channel called Jazzle Dazzle Crafts. Janice is an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Scotland. And I mentioned to her after her video that I'd never seen this technique before, and I've been doing crafting and stamping for over 40 years. And she told me to give it a try. So I am, but mine are totally going to be totally different than hers. I'm using different products and everything. And this thing is called Stack and Shuffle Cards. So I figured I'm going to give it a whirl. So I wanted to try it first. So I used the Polar Bear stamp set. The inside are all the same on all of them. And these are the 3 cards I made. Very cute, I think. Now, if you decide you want to make this and you're looking in the Polar Bear paper for this paper, it's not that paper. It goes with it really nicely, but that is from the gnome set. I was looking for a third piece and I ran into that and I didn't have much of it, but that's what I went with. So this is what we're making today, but not this card. Different card. Hopefully it turns out well because I haven't done it yet. I have pulled out my verses that we're going to be using. We are using It's the Most Magical Time of the Year on the inside. We're using Let It Snow on the outside. I have die cut. These dies are from the Snowflake Kisses set. This little banner die, and I've cut some banners. And there's snowflakes. There's more than this, but these are just 2 of the snowflakes. And I've die cut some out of the Glimmer paper that came with the Peaceful, I can't remember it. Peaceful something. Peaceful Garden Glimmer paper. This one's called Soft Green, and this one's called Dark Gray. And then there's a blue. Looks like silver and a dark blue. But anyhow, I did die cut all those because that's how I knew I wanted to die cut with snowflakes. And I pulled out some snowflake stamps from this set. I pulled out the small one and this littler one here. So we're using a little bit of each. So let's get started. So let's go through supplies real fast. I don't need that. That's just an extra piece of white I grabbed. So you're going to need 4 pieces of basic, or 3 pieces of basic, because we're making 3 cards. 3 pieces of basic white, 4 by 5 1/4. You're going to need, now I decided if I'm going to stack and shuffle this, I'm really going to mess this all up. I have Pretty Peacock. Oh, please tell me I have Pretty Peacock. I already cut, or maybe I forgot to cut it. Hang on. This is Shade Spruce. So I have a standard card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. This is 4 by 5 1/4. I have the same thing in Secret C. And I evidently forgot to cut one for Pretty Peacock. Well, hang on. We'll fix that up. Or I do have one and I slubbed it back in the box. 4 by 5 1/4. I put it away by mistake. So I decided if I'm going to mix this up, I was really going to mix it up and use 3 different color card bases. So that's what we have so far. And then I, of course, have envelopes. So let's do our stamping. And I figured I'm going to mix up the stamping as well. So I think we're going to do all of the writing in Secret C. And then we're going to do the little snowflake I picked out of Shaded Spruce and the little medium-sized one in Pretty Peacock. So let's do the stamping first. Like I said, I've thought this one out. I just haven't made it. And then we stick our finger into the Secret C. Wouldn't recommend that. Let's get that off my fingernails before I get it in there. And yes, I know I need to put a new cover on my mat. It's looking pretty sad, isn't it? And I'm going to go towards the top with this, just like that. I'll tell you one thing. I wasn't sure I was going to like Secret C when it first came out, but I really do like it. It's not as good as the evergreen color we had, though. That was better. That was much better. But I do like this color. So there's that one. And then let's go ahead and do our verses. I cut these little banners out, like I said, from that one's set, Snowflake Kisses. I do like the Snowflake Kisses set. I think it's very cute. And I've got Let It Snow. And it's a little big, but that's okay. I'm going to go right in the center of that. It looks just like that. That's good. I did cut one extra one just in case I messed up. But I didn't. That's okay. So we have our banners. And we're done with the Secret C ink. Next, we're going to grab Pretty Peacock. Like I said, I wanted to mix this up, so I wanted to use all three inks on the cards and mix up the... And I'm just going to put a snowflake there in the bottom. Just a little pine snowflake. Okay. And that's it for Pretty Peacock ink. Now we're going to do Shade Spruce. So those are the insides all done. And envelopes. I know I grabbed envelopes. There they are. Grab 3 envelopes out. We're going to do some stamping off with this one. I already tested it out to see how it worked. It looked pretty cool. So I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3. You could go 4 if you wanted. But I like 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And that's it for the Shaded Spruce. And that's all the stamping on this card. This would be a card you could mass produce because you're doing 3 at one time. So let me get all this ink out of my way so I don't have it in my way. So now that we've got all of our pieces, we do need the DSP. So you're going to need 3 pieces of DSP. Got 3, but I decided I wanted to use those 3 patterns just like that. Each of these measure, make sure I have that, 3 3/4 by 5. So you need 3 pieces. And we're going to stack them. This is where the stack and shuffle comes in. Grab my paper trimmer. And actually, I'm going to put something that's not quite so busy on top so it doesn't distract from my eyes. Stack them up so they're nice and even. And you're going to put this in here, and there's no measurement for this. Just whatever looks good to you. And we're going to cut this into 3 pieces. I'm going back and forth to make sure I cut through all 3 layers. So you're going to lay them out. And then the other one, I'm going to turn this way. And cut like that. So stack them back up the way they came. And that's those pieces. So we're going to leave them off to the side there. Now, I did ask Janice, I said, has anybody tried more than 3? And I said, like 5. And she said, if you feel you can keep it all straight, go for it. I tried it. You notice we're doing 3. You can do it. It's very complicated. You have to be very, very careful. So we are going to grab all of our quarter sheets here. I'm going to go ahead and burnish these while we've got them here. So poor job. Now, if you didn't want to put a second layer in there, a layer of cardstock, you could go directly on this. You would just do a standard size, which is 4 by 5 1/4, and then cut it and go straight onto the cardstock. But I like doing the layers because I'm going to mix the layers all up as well. So we have already cut them. Now we're going to stack. So we're just going to take the stack here. We're going to start at the top and go like this. Then we'll take the next piece. We're going to skip the first one and shuffle it to the next one. And the one we ended with will go there. And we start here, and there, and there. And that is the stack and shuffle. So let's get these all hooked on. Let me grab a drink of my tea. Yes, I'm still drinking iced tea, and it's all fall. I'll drink iced tea all winter. If it's really cold, I will drink hot tea or coffee, but it's not that cold yet. So just pick one to start with. I'm going to start with this one. And this is designed so there's some small borders on here. And you can use tape on this if you feel brave. I want the wiggle room. So we're going to have some borders here. About like that. Trying to look at the top and the bottom. So I'm trying to line up here too. So these are straight. Just like that. And we'll do the next one. I'm just starting with the top one because it's straight across the top and I can line everything up based off of that one. But like I said, there's no exact measurement where you cut. It's wherever you want. There we go. This one here. So I want to thank Janice for introducing me to this style because I had never done it before. I'd actually never seen it. You can't see everything. You know, after years you think, oh God, I've seen everything. I don't know anything new. There's nothing out there to learn. There's always something new to learn because you can't know everything and you haven't seen everything. So, and if you are interested, I did not particularly buy the Advent card, the new Advent card, but Janice has got, at the time of filming, she has opened 10 doors so far. She's opening one a day. So she has 2 more. Actually, by the time this comes out, it will be already done. But she has them all if you wanted to see what was in there. Go watch her videos. She's great fun to watch. And so, and her, like I said, her name is, her YouTube channel is Jazzle Dazzle Crafts with Janice. Oop, get that one back up there. Trying to line things up, and they don't always line up exactly, but that's okay. Okay, so now we got to put the insides in our cards and then shuffle the layers on. And there's the insides. Got the glue out, might as well keep on going. Oh dear. Please tell me I didn't do this to all of them. I did. Hang on. We got to do a little trimming. I cut my paper. It's supposed to be 5 1/4, and I cut it 5 1/2, and I didn't realize it. Oh, that is 5 1/4. So what did I do wrong here? Uh-oh, that's not the right size. Okay, we're gonna have to, please tell me that's the only one that's wrong. It is the only one that's wrong. We'll fix the Pretty Peacock in a few. I'll set that off, let it dry, and I'll clean it up so I can use it again. Okay. See what happens sometimes? You just get going and you just think, I think it was in there and I figured it was ready to go, and it wasn't. Okay. All right, we're going to take a small detour while I cut a new card base and add a Pretty Peacock, which will take us just a second. Because I'm human and I make mistakes. Now, there's a piece I can use. This is not a full sheet. It's something where I cut a piece off of it. But I only need it 5 1/2. I'll use that for something later. And score it 4 1/4. Sorry about that. Hey, these things happen. Where to go? Okay. It's an easy fix. And don't worry, I'll get the glue cleaned off that and used it for something else. I am one not to waste paper. I save scraps of everything, try to use them up. Okay, so we have our insides and all of our card bases. So this is Shaded Spruce. We got our things lined up. So Shaded Spruce on there. Secret Sea, Pretty Peacock. Just like that. So I've just sort of mixed them all up. I'm shuffling everything. I like it doing just mixing everything up. This is a combination I would not have tried together. Secret Sea and Shaded Spruce and Pretty Peacock, but it really does work. Okay, so now it's time to decorate these cards. And it's also time for me to wipe some glue off my fingers. Okay, so I decided I knew I wanted to decorate with the, I've just thrown everything into my magnetic bowl here. But I knew I wanted to decorate with the snowflake. Let it snow. And then I cut out one for each card of the snowflakes. And so these are the two. All these dies came out of the Snowflake Kisses. So that's this one here, which is one of my favorites. If Kisses were snowflakes, I send you a blizzard. I love that one. But this is the one that has that beautiful die in it too. This one has dies to cut out. All of these snowflakes here. And a couple standalones. So, lots of fun things with these two. And sorry, I didn't get the glue off my hands. And there's no way I'm going to handle dimensional. So, I'm using, I would recommend that everybody have a jar, a bottle, I got a pump bottle here, of hand sanitizer by their desk when they're working or wherever you're crafting. Because you get glue and stuff on your fingers. It really, it is the best thing. It's the only good thing I discovered through COVID was that's really nice to use. So I'm going to grab dimensionals. I'm going to grab mini dimensionals and regular dimensionals. I just keep in a bag so I have them handy. And I'm thinking I'm going to try to, I'm going to set all the snowflakes off to the side here for a second. I'm thinking they're all going to go right in this same general vicinity. Not like that. So let's start with the snowflakes on dimensionals. If you have sides, use them. I'm out of sides at the moment. Of course, by the time I get done with this one, I won't be. Or you can cut them off anyhow, but I'm not going to. 3 should do it. And this. This is why I said this is one you could do all your insides, do this cutting, put it on 3 cards, go to another one, do another design, and then come back and decorate them all at one time. And if you only needed like 12 of them, it wouldn't be bad. 20 wouldn't be bad either. This is actually pretty quick. I mean, we've been going at this for, and I did do some cutting, but I mean, we're going to be less than 30 minutes for 3 cards. That's pretty good. Okay, so I've got those. And then I thought, okay, we're going to set these, I think, off like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little mini one here, or you can cut up the other ones. I'm going to put a mini in the center. Let's go ahead and do the minis in the center in all these. And just do them at one time. And grab our glue. And be very careful because you know when it sticks to glimmer paper. So what I'm going to do is pull off the back, and then one of my parts of my snowflake, I'm going to put glue on there. And that is going to rest right there on my label. Now these are all loose like this. Now if you don't like them loose, you could cut some little pieces, and we may still do that. We'll decide after we get all this on here. Just a little glue on there. Just like that. Little glue. And that. Just like that. Now you could put something else under these if you wanted. You could take some little strips. This is the minis I've been working on cutting off the sides for a while. So we could take one of these and pull off the backing. Grab my pokey tool. I've got it stuck to my thumb right now. Okay, and I'm going to just take, I've got both sides off, and I'm going to stick this on one of those. Right there to help support it. So it's not quite as flopping all over. So yeah, you do need to put one of these or something. You can cut up the big ones too. Just need a tiny little sliver and put it on the one opposite where you put the glue. Just give it a little more stability. I wasn't sure if we'd need it or not, and it does. Or you could actually just glue these down flat if you wanted, but I wanted them elevated. Oop. There's the one I haven't done. Just like that. It gives a little more stability. Okay, now this one, you are not going to be able to get a glued little mini there. But we can rest one of these on here, and we can put another one strip over there, is what I'm thinking. So we're going to put a strip there, and a strip on that one. Let's get all of them down here at the same time. Whoop. And a strip on that one. So let's see this. If I have a strip there and I glue that one down there, that would work. Okay, so we're putting a strip down right along one of these. And you can put it on more, but I think one is going to be enough. And straight across we'll put glue, a little bit of glue. And then we'll anchor this to the label like that. Except I don't want it going that direction. I want it this direction, I think. There. I want it coming from the top, like that. Like I said, I hadn't made this card. I just had it in mind what I wanted. And there, and a little more glue. Oop, make sure I got the right one there. And there. Those will dry here in just a few minutes. So there's that. But then I decided it still needed some bling. I think it needs bling, don't you? I figured I'd have to get bling. So I grabbed out a bunch of bling. Hang on. I know I grabbed a couple packages. This is the Faceted Snowflakes that come with the Delicate Pine. And this is close to Pretty Peacock, so I think I'll put that one on that one. And then I was looking at other ones. This is the low profile sparkle dots. And I thought that that would look good on one of them. And then I thought I just put some basic rhinestones on another. They don't have to be the same. So. You know, if I put everything back, I wouldn't have a problem, right? So I'm going to put on this one here. This is the one with the peacock paper. I'm going to put that one there, a little one, about there. And I'm going to put another big one down here. Okay, so that's that one. And this is the low profile, which I like. And I'm going to put that one. That's a large one. And a small one. And another large one. Right there, just like that. And then I grab some basic rhinestones. You can never go wrong with basic rhinestones. Let's see here. This part. We have 3 sizes of this. You know what? We're going to just make a little cluster right there. Just like that. So, that is my stack and shuffle cards. We have 3 nice cards moving forward towards Christmas. So thank you for joining me, and I will see you next week. Goodbye.